Shabbat shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. Oh, man. All I have to tell you is if you thought Asheville was bad, Asheville looks like small potatoes compared to what happened in Mexico. Mexico had flooding across 5 states. Between the rain and their rivers cresting, it put them all underwater, 5 states underwater. 12,600 people are gone. They lost their lives, and they expect that number to rise. 32,400 people are missing. They have not been accounted for. The floodwaters washed away so many people. I would guess some of them probably will never be found. It was that bad. And it was rain over a 5-day period. This is central Mexico, and man, I'm telling y'all, it's bad. It's bad. I even got footage of their president out there, and you could hear the people shouting at her, you know? She can only do so much, but yes, they're under a state of emergency. Thousands. It took out thousands, y'all. So, listen, I don't know where all these displaced people are gonna go. There's a lot of them displaced. I'm gonna show you footage. Some of it is gonna look disturbing. Some people, you're gonna literally see them floating in the water that's rushing through. You'll even see a dog struggling in the water, cows, and I mean, it gets deep. So, y'all, you know, we know the Most High is going to clear the land off, and that's going to be done in many ways. It's going to be the weather, it's going to clear land off. You saw what happened in Alaska. I showed that to you yesterday. Their towns, they had villages, several villages that got destroyed from a recent storm that hit them in Alaska. And they just told the people they can never go back there. That land will never be livable again. So all of those people that lived in those villages, they were the ones they called the Native Alaskans, they're gone. They can't go back. So right now, many of them are in shelters and they're going to have to figure out where they're going to put these people. Well, they're going to have to do the same thing apparently in Mexico. And I'm noticing a pattern, y'all. The news is not covering this stuff like they used to. They're not covering this. And I knew something was funny even back when Asheville happened. We knew it happened. We knew it was bad, but it was almost like they didn't want to show you nothing. They didn't want to show you anything. And if it wasn't for the people posting online, that's how many of us found out what happened there. And this is the thing, y'all. Mexico knew this thing was coming, but they did not anticipate how bad it was going to be. Over the next couple of days, I'm going to show y'all some things that are going on in the world, things that were rare before, but they are no longer rare. And they're happening in places that it never happened before. So there are some weather phenomena that goes on up in mountains that we never see. If you live in the lowlands, you don't see this. If you live in the mountains, that's a whole different other thing. But there are weather patterns up in mountains that the average person never, ever, ever sees. Well, those weather disasters are now coming down from the mountains and it's happening on the land. and it's never happened before, but it's happening now. And this is why you keep seeing floods in under a half hour, under a hour, because these kind of phenomena once upon a time were only happening in mountainous areas. But now that weather is coming down to us. Look, I've been in New Jersey for a long time. The floods I've seen this year, I have never seen so much flooding in this state ever. But it's almost every rainstorm, somebody in New Jersey is underwater. And this is I'm telling y'all, when I show you the footage of especially the places up north, those places never flooded before until this year. So you can tell the Most High is shifting the weather pattern around. You can run people off the land using the weather. It doesn't necessarily have to be a war. War is another way. But a lot of these places, y'all, will never get rebuilt. They're not going to get built up again. And they've pretty much told the people in Alaska that lost their villages, they can't go back there. They're not going to be building that place back up. So it is strange. And there's other footage I'm gonna be showing y'all a little later. The Navy declassified a video, and they had encountered, a UFO that was flying, and you could see the Navy jet picked up the UFO. You can see it. You can see the UFO and everything. They fired a Hellfire missile at this UFO. Y'all, I kid you not, the missile just bounced off of it. And even the pilot said, "What the hell just happened?" They tried to fire at this UFO. I think they were trying to take it down, and the Hellfire missile literally bounced right off of it. I'm like, "Oh my." But, and I'm bringing this up because I'm hearing these old arrogant ass people, and you know who they are, sitting around talking about if Three-Eye Atlas comes near the Earth, they're gonna nuke it. And y'all, I got my bets on Three-Eye Atlas. In order for something to be flying around in the universe, they made them ships indestructible, y'all. And don't think for one moment Three-Eye Atlas is not indestructible. I bet you that nuke would probably just bounce right off of it. Nothing can last that long in the universe, and it's easy to take down. Trust me, if it's an intelligent being that built that sucker, that you gonna need more than a nuke to take it down. I don't believe a nuke is gonna take it down. They're saying now, this is the words of the scientists, that Three-Eye Atlas is probably older than the Earth. It's probably been floating around out there for millions, possibly billions of years. So nothing can last in the universe that long if it's not indestructible. So you know how these folks are. We're gonna nuke it. Yeah, go right ahead. That nuke may actually fall back on you. Just understand that. All right, y'all. Let me go ahead and show you what happened in Mexico. So this is central Mexico. All right, so let me tell you the states that got flooded. Veracruz, Hidalgo, Querétaro, Puebla, and San Luis Potosi. Okay, those were the 5 states in Mexico that was hit. I was looking for a map and I had a hard time finding a map, so I made one myself in AI. So this is the area that you can see. that is considered central Mexico that was hit by the storm and badly flood. These places are so badly flooded. It's going to take years for these people to be able to recover if they're able to at all. You know, there are people online, y'all, that are saying Mexico is gone. It's gone. I don't know if it's gone, but it's going to be hurting for a long time. That's all I got to say. So this, what you're seeing, this is the area that flooded. All right. So let's get into this video. All right, thank everybody. Thank you for the ones. Shabbat shalom to everybody in the chat.
Y'all, this flood that just took place in Mexico for the past couple of days is a lot more severe than the media is leading up. Matter of fact, the media is not even speaking up about this. I feel like this is another Hurricane Helene incident. Remember the incident that happened with Hurricane Helene in Asheville, North Carolina? This is literally another. Look at this, y'all. It's another incident. And once again, the media is silent. Do you guys know it's been 12,600 people that are unalived in this situation, and 32,000 people are missing? I bet you guys didn't know that. You guys didn't hear about that. Look at the destruction that this flood has caused all over Mexico. This isn't, my goodness. And the crazy thing about it is there's a lot of destruction happening all over the planet, and the media is silent. The infrastructure of Mexico is completely ruined.
12,600 dead so far, 32,400 missing in Mexico. The storms, the hurricane, the flooding, a lot of displaced families, a lot of people missing, 32,400, and confirmed deaths, 12,600.
There's a lot of cataclysms that's taking place around the planet that the media is completely silent on. It first started with Asheville, North Carolina, and it's a continuing thing. It's an ongoing thing. They're not speaking up about a lot of these things, but yet they want to talk about No King's Day and the government shutdown and all that. What about these lives lost? 12,000 people? Even the fact of the matter is they still haven't confirmed how many people were confirmed dead in the North Carolina Asheville incident. I believe this is a new norm, y'all. I truly believe this is a new norm. I've been telling y'all the shift is here, man. This is crazy. Let me know what you guys think about this video, y'all. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
Primero aclarar, ¿no? Porque si ustedes ven todo el video que ayer estuvo en las redes sociales, yo le estoy pidiendo al chico que me está interpelando de que había personas desaparecidas diciendo escúchame, escúchame, y lo que le digo es no vamos a ocultar absolutamente nada, permíteme tener toda la información y vamos a darla a conocer. Y ahí cuando la gente nos pidió que nos paramos, me bajé de la camioneta y ahí pues escuchamos todas las solicitudes, demandas y demás. Y ya cuando nos subíamos llegó este joven. Y si ven el video, pues le estoy diciendo no vamos a cubrir absolutamente nada, escúchame lo que te tengo que decir.
12,600 dead so far, 32,400 missing in Mexico. The storms, the hurricane, the flooding, a lot of displaced families, a lot of people missing, 32,400, and confirmed deaths, 12,600. Shows how bad the infrastructure is that, you know, they knew it was coming. It wasn't like it was a surprise, but the devastation, we're going to be talking about it probably for a few days because this just happened. And again, there's 32,400 missing that were washed away. If you saw any of the videos, and if you haven't, just go to the search bar and put Mexico flooding, and you'll see cars were being washed away, houses were being washed away. It was a sight, and again, they knew it was coming, but couldn't do anything about it because the infrastructure, a lot of the housing is real old. A lot of stuff just got washed away. It was way too much water coming way too fast, and I mean, cars were going down the streets. That's how bad it was. Pray for Mexico.
This is a trail of destruction left by intense rains in central and southeastern Mexico. I'm in the Mexican state of Hidalgo, the one of the hardest hit in the country and also one with the highest number of missing people, according to Mexico's government. Here, the damage has been extensive. This house was completely destroyed, killing a woman inside, while the family was left with nothing. And many people here in this community known as El Pantano now fears that new landslides coming from that cliff could bury their home. Mexico's government has begun a census of affected residents. The toll could rise in the coming days as this tragedy unfolds.
At least 41 people are dead after heavy rain set off widespread flooding and landslides in Mexico. Intense rainfall inundated 31 of Mexico's 32 states, causing rivers to burst their banks. Thousands of homes were damaged or destroyed by the fast-running water. More than 5,000 troops have been deployed to help clear roads and distribute aid.
Don José Salvador no puede contener las lágrimas al mostrar su casa en ruinas, ni siquiera dónde dormir. Es una de las 56 familias damnificadas tan solo.
I just want to say this real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, these 5 states, 300 communities have been destroyed. 300 communities, just picture that in your head, across 5 states have been completely destroyed. So let me get back to the video.
En la comunidad de El Cabellal en Álamo, Veracruz, uno de los más devastados por las inundaciones.
Es lo único que tengo. Pero me lo llevé a mi señora, porque yo no quiero que se enferma. Se la han llevado mis hijos para Tihuatlán. El único en mi casa que tengo. Y aquel le saqué un poco de lodo para dormir, me llego a cuidar mis cosas. El único, mire lo que me quedó.
Nada, señor.
Todos mis animales, todos se...
En las calles de la colonia Santa Cruz ni siquiera se puede caminar por el lodo. Para otros damnificados, el lodo es su menor preocupación.
No nomás el lodo, sino que la casa se me cayó. Se cayó la casa también. No nomás el lodo, fuera nomás el lodo. Siempre lo hemos sacado. Desde el 99 también así nos pasó. Pero entonces no tapó mi casa ni la tumbó. Pero hoy sí.
En la zona apenas se intenta restablecer la energía eléctrica. No hay señal y algunos tramos carreteros están cortados. En cada cuadra se ve la emergencia, lodo, casas aún inundadas, miradas perdidas y gente pidiendo ayuda.
está metiendo mucho el agua. Dios santo de mi vida. No se puede abrir ya. Para que salimos por aquí, por la banqueta también más bajito, para irnos para allá para abajo. Ay, no, se va a caer. ¿Cómo? A ver, ¿le ayudo? Ay, no. A ver, venga. Ahí ven. Ay, no se mueve el carro. Ay, no. No. Ay, no. No. Ay, no.
From above, you can see how the river has taken over the streets. Water covers both sides of what used to be the main highway, and cars are being carried along like toys. Entire neighborhoods are under this brown tide stretching.
Tonight, the desperate search for 65 people still missing after catastrophic floods swept through Mexico. 64 people confirmed killed as days of torrential rain pounded the central and eastern parts of the country, pushing rivers past their limits, a wall of water washing away homes and swallowing up cars.
No tenemos nada.
Epifania Hernandez in the state of Veracruz says people are trapped, adding she, her family, and others have been left with nothing. Local authorities there say the Cazones River rose nearly 5 feet in just a matter of minutes,
Se quedó ahí.
leaving no time for residents to escape.
Nadie estaba previsto para esto.
This business owner saying no one was prepared for this, pointing to the tables, chairs, and everything else he's lost. The National Guard and local rescue teams have been searching for survivors through waist-deep water for days. 900 rescues carried out on Friday alone, according to Mexico's Navy.
Lamentablemente se nos taparon las casas.
Maria Elena Santos says she was able to get out, adding that her family members barely made it. Images from above show the destruction. What was once lush and green, now underwater. Electricity cut off, roads blocked by debris, and streets covered in mud. A total of 8,700 military personnel on the ground to assist in the recovery effort. Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum touring the devastation Sunday, vowing to help with cleanup, food, and drinking water. And the Mexican president.
There's been torrential rain in Mexico in the past few days that has left 64 people dead. Officials say dozens of other people are still missing. The heavy rain hit 5 Mexican states near the Gulf of Mexico over the weekend. Mexican authorities fear the death toll will rise. President Claudia Sheinbaum says 100,000 homes have been affected by flooding and landslides. I'm Corva Coleman, NPR News in Washington.
So, in case you didn't know, just last week, Mexico had the worst flood in 3 of its states, in Hidalgo, Veracruz, and San Luis Potosi. And we're talking about just mass flooding, mudslides, landslides, and I'm a little skeptical about the numbers. They're saying there's 130 people that are missing, but is it just going to be 130 out of 3 states? So I'm getting conflicted numbers, and then there's other people that are saying that it's this number instead. They're saying that the government's hiding the numbers. And as details are coming out, it's just a very horrible situation, and it just seems like it's getting worse and worse. So I was waiting to speak on it because I kind of wanted to see how everything was going to pan out. I wanted to see what Claudia was going to do. And of course, it never fails. She was horrible. And as sad as the whole situation is, the one good thing that's happening in this situation is a lot of people are waking up to how evil she is in the Morena party. So the most important thing, for starters, she hasn't sent any help. Well, it was like a week until she decided to send help. So there's a whole bunch of people missing, including 130 university students.
¿Dónde están nuestros compañeros? Porque ni siquiera se pudieron parar para poder hablar con nosotros.
And most of them are nowhere to be found. And I guess a couple or 3 days after the flooding, she shows up in her truck for a photo op where she basically she tells people to be quiet. Because they're demanding why isn't she sending help, why what's going on, they're basically not helping them at all in anything. So she did that, And then on top of that, so since the government's not helping, I guess like people from other places decided that they wanted to help. They're sending trucks. Well, now they're blocking the help from going in because it needs to go, they need to give it to the government, and then the government will give it to the people, which they're saying it's never getting there.
El Ayuntamiento de Costa Rica no nos permiten pasar a dejar comida a la gente que lo necesita. No, carnal. Venimos de otros municipios a ayudar a la gente que necesita.
And here you see it in the video where they're blocking the help. They're accusing the government of hiding the bodies, hiding the death count. And then here on one of her morning meetings, I guess a man was going to go up there and start talking, and she told them, do not talk about the affected areas. Like, what is there to hide, Claudio? What are you hiding? It's gotten so bad that I can't believe this is even coming out of my mouth, but the cartel even started helping and giving them water and aid. So, and I guess a week later, the government was like, okay, finally we have the little bags ready that we ordered to give out the aid, to make sure that our political name is on it. And a week later, they decide to send the help over there all late. And the people are mad because they're like, the bags cost more than what was inside of the bag.
No iban a lucrar con la tragedia.
So not only did they take a week to send the aid, but it was like nothing. And so, yeah, they really need our prayers, and it's a really sad situation over there because they're not even sending trucks. Like, the water is just stuck there. Like, the infestations and the bacteria that it's going to be growing. They said the smell is the worst smell. It smells like dead animals, and the water is just stuck there. They're asking for help, for trucks to, like, at least, because I guess, like, some of the rivers overflowed over there, and it's just horrible. So we really got to pray for them. I mean, I would tell y'all to send help and send money, but they're not, it's not going to the people. It has to go to the government first. So, and we all know that you can't trust the Morena government. So even if you do send help or money, it's just going to go into the government's pockets.
Yes, but that's why your people need to stop leaving Mexico and fight the government that's corrupt. How are you going to fix the problem if you are coming to America? That's all the more reason why y'all should still be there fighting. Whoever this woman is, this shine bomb, that's your president. If she's not serving the people the way y'all want, how are you going to fight her if you're sitting here in America and working here in America and you're doing everything over here? You should be over there fighting your government if they are corrupt and they're not doing nothing for the people when a disaster hits. So I still see the Mexican people at fault. You can rise up against that government. All y'all do, oh, well, it's kind of complicated. Yeah, well, it's kind of complicated, right? But y'all don't have no issue coming to another land, running off Black people from their homes and taking them over. You don't have no problem doing that, but the government's too hard for you to fight. Y'all full of shit. So anyway, y'all, yeah, it's going to, I'm sure it smells like the dead bodies. You know, you got to think it was animals there, people, you know, and plus the food and all that stuff is all mixed in the water. I bet it smells like hell. You know, but y'all, why don't y'all go home and help your people? Y'all can go home, cross the border, and go down to central Mexico where this happened, and you can now help your people. You know? So anyway, y'all, I wanted to show you this because this just happened days ago. And I never knew about this. I actually was putting things together before sundown to show you today. And I came across this actually by accident. and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Some of the footage was really bad, but it had, like, mainstream music on there, so I couldn't show you. But if you go over on TikTok, you can see way more videos. It is really, really bad. And I was like, "Okay, now this one definitely tops Asheville." So, instead of being over here being anti-Black, you should go home and help your people. The Most High didn't do this to you for nothing. That's all I got to say. So, y'all, I will see you at 2:45. That's when Bible study will begin. And I know all of you won't be there, but those of you that will be there, I will see you then. And the rest of you, please enjoy your day. I do have the Bible study and 2 more videos coming up later. So I hope to see you there. Shalom, family. Shabbat shalom, family.